Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be trying some new makeup while telling you another insanely crazy, bonkers, unhinged story for your entertainment. I have the new IT Cosmetics CC Nude Glow Skin Tint. I have 3 of the new bronzers from McGrath. I've got the new Fenty mascara. I have one of the new quads from Tom Ford. This is Hazy Seduction. I also have 2 of the new liquid lipsticks from Tom Ford, along with 2 of the new blushes from Armani. So if you want to see all of these new makeup products in action, hear all of my thoughts on them while being told an absolutely unhinged story about the time when I accidentally started a fetish channel, keep watching. I highly suggest pouring yourself a cup of tea or getting yourself a drink and settling in. Get comfy, get cozy, because you're going to be in for the wildest of rides. So yeah, this story, I mean, when I tell this story, you're going to be furious with me. You're going to be asking yourselves, Charlotte, why have you been telling us all these like mediocre stories and saving this one and not telling us this one? Because I feel like, in my opinion, this is the most unhinged story, the craziest, wackiest, most bizarre story of all of the stories that I have so far shared with you on this journey of telling crazy stories. And the truth is, I appear to have just like blocked this from my memory. Okay, this happened a few years ago now, and my brain has just chosen to bury it in the archives and to not think about it anymore because it is truly disturbing, strange, crazy, wacky, unhinged. It is. And yeah, you're gonna find out. But when I was on my little holiday, on my little break, I took the last 2 weeks off. Every video that's been going up over the last 2 weeks was pre-filmed, and I've just been taking the last 2 weeks off on our Easter holidays here in the UK with my kids. And I was just thinking during that time, you know, of content to film. And I thought about this series because I knew a lot of new products had come out while I'd been on my break that I, you know, wanted to film in some way. I needed to do a trying new makeup video because I had all these new products to talk about and to try. And so I knew that one of these videos was in the works, and I started to think about what story should I talk about during this next video. And as I have said before, I have an alarming number of these stories, okay? I've now got a list in my phone of like 15 stories. I truly don't know how I get myself into these situations or why these things keep happening to me. But this one, I truly feel like I wasn't at fault here. I mean, you guys be the judge. I cannot fathom how this happened. I don't know how or why this happened to me. And I'm 100% certain I'm the only person in the history of the planet that this specific thing has happened to. This specific situation, I feel like has never happened to anyone before. I've told a few people about this, and every time their flabbers are fully gasted. Like, you guys are about to be shaken to your cores. You're about to learn something today, because I'm fully confident that not one of you watching this video will know that this is a thing, will know that this exists, will have ever heard of anything like this in your entire existence. And yet here we are. And of course, it's me this has happened to. Of course it was. What am I doing wrong? It is so hard to do my brows on camera because the mirror is really far away and it's not like a magnifying one. So I'm fully just blindly guessing what's going on. But you know, that is like the least crazy thing that's going to happen in this video, regardless of how crazy they look. So we're not going to care. We're not going to care. We're just going to move on. So for this story, we're going to slightly travel back in time, okay? I had probably been going with my YouTube channel maybe like 2-ish years, I would guess. I definitely know that this happened fairly early on in like my YouTube career, because in order for all of this to have happened and gone down the way that it did, I had to have been like pretty naive to what was going on initially and what was happening. And yeah, this was all like a learning curve for me. So I know this happened like fairly early on. I'd say maybe 3 or 4 years ago is when this all began, right? And I'd say the way it began is, you might have noticed if you've been here before. If not, welcome. Nice to meet you. I like to keep my bloopers in my videos, okay? I like to keep my videos very natural, very, you know, relatable, normal behavior as possible. Maybe not. And I just like to keep bloopers in. I think they're typically quite, you know, they're funny. They just add to the vibes here, the sort of down to earth, natural, normal vibes. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to cover up any mistakes. I just think they're part of life, making mistakes. We don't always say everything correctly the first time. Sometimes I stutter or stumble. Sometimes I drop something or make a mistake, say a word incorrectly. And it's just all like, you know, life, isn't it? And I think it adds to the video and it can be funny. So I'm using this quad from Tom Ford. I have used this a few times and I do quite like it. I will say that. I'm using there are no mattes in here, so I'm using this sort of brown shade to begin with. All of the shades are nice and soft, as you expect from Tom Ford. So that's how this began, and it began with me keeping a sneeze or a series of sneezes in a couple of videos. So what you also need to know about me is my sneezes are wild. They are loud, like that type of sneeze. That's how I sneeze. I can't help it. That's just my sneeze, okay? It's just, it is what it is, okay? Never been a thing before, it was. So again, you know, some people will disagree. Some people won't want to see a sneeze, but I think the way I sneeze, at least I personally thought they were quite funny to keep in, and you guys thought it was funny as well. Not just the sneeze, but like you typically sneeze like that 3 or 4 times, and then it's like you need to lie down afterwards. So it would typically, the whole thing would just be like just silly, kind of funny, right? Didn't think anything of it. Just something that I kept in a couple of my videos. So one day I got a comment about my sneeze. One of these videos where I must have sneezed and left it in. And a man commented on this video, wow, amazing sneeze. And I thought, not a lot of it. I thought, okay, I mean, yeah, they are impressive. I'll give him that. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they're a sneeze, not to be sniffed at. So that was that. That was the beginning. It started off, you know, imperceptibly. I didn't know that anything was happening. I just thought that this person, you know, thought, wow, that was a big sneeze. And I had, you know, a few comments, normal comments from normal people, just that sort of saying, wow, what a sneeze. Wow, loud sneeze. Anyway, that was the beginning of it. You know, a few days went by and then I got another comment, you know, wow, amazing sneeze. Do you always sneeze like that? Again, I thought nothing of it. Maybe I replied like, yes, I do sneeze loudly. That was that. Still at this point, not really thinking anything of it. But yeah, it escalated. The next time I received one of these sneeze related comments, they had time stamped it. And that was the beginning of me thinking, what's happening here? What's going on? Why would you timestamp a sneeze? If you don't know, by the way, what a timestamp is, it's when someone, say this video is like 45 minutes long and there's a specific bit that people are interested in or someone thinks is like the meat of the video, someone might post in the comments saying, oh, mascara review is at 10 minutes. And it's a timestamp and you can click on it if someone does that to go to that place in the video. So this next comment, which sort of actually got my attention, caught my eye as to what's happening here, was this person who just commented something like, wow, amazing sneeze at 6 minutes 14, whatever time in the video the sneeze happened. They had time-stamped it along with this sort of comment about what an amazing sneeze it was. And that just seemed a little strange to me. Like, why are you like, do you think I want to know what time I sneeze? I thought it was strange, okay? It gets stranger. So there were probably like maybe 2 or 3 videos across like my entire channel that I had like sneezed in and left it in. I feel like I'm talking as though I've got some kind of sneezing related disease, but maybe it was spring and, you know, The pollen was pollening is maybe what was happening. I don't know. At the beginning of this, it was just a very, like, a non-entity. It wasn't something I'd thought about or considered or done intentionally. It was just something I left in my video, okay? Maybe I had some peppery eggs for lunch. I don't know. So I feel like that sort of the beginning of, like, the madness was that timestamp. That timestamp was kind of the beginning of me thinking, why have they timestamped that? And after that comment was left, things started to escalate, okay? They started to escalate. I was getting maybe like 10 or 15 comments a day. This was when my channel was still very small, so that was like a lot of comments for me at the time, okay? About my sneezing. I was getting 10 or 15 comments on those 2 or 3 videos with sneezes in, along the same lines as the first one. Wow, what an amazing sneeze. Wow, I love how you sneeze. Your sneezes are so amazing. Oh my God. See, when I told you you weren't going to believe where this video went, I wasn't joking, okay? I'm being deadly serious. This is what was happening, okay? Who could have predicted this? I know for sure not me. So yeah, I was getting all of these comments and compliments on my sneezes. By the way, I'm using the new Fenty mascara. I'm so sorry. I get distracted during these videos, okay? It's a lot of multitasking. But I mean, look at that first coat. Forget the sneezes. That is impressive. And around this time, the time stamping really like stepped up a notch. Like it kicked off, okay? I was getting way less just normal comments saying, or not normal comments, but seemingly normal comments saying, wow, what a big sneeze. And a lot more comments saying things like, you know, oh, sneeze at this time. And that was like strange to me. And this was just getting like more and more frequent. I was getting more and more of these messages about my sneezes, complimenting my sneezes, and like time stamping my sneezes in my videos. And that is when I realized that apparently there are a whole group of people out there who are like aroused by sneezes. Did you know about this? Because I did not. I did not know this. And burps. I would just say I do not burp in my videos. I've never left a burp in my video. I have to draw the line somewhere when it comes to bodily functions, you know? By the way, we've lost track again. And I am now using the IT Cosmetics CC Nude Glow. Yeah, so this was at the point, I don't know if I know what happened. Okay, so I know what happened. The next kind of hint, at this point, I still didn't really know what was going on. I for sure thought it was strange. I was getting so many comments about my sneezing, but I still did not realize this was a thing. I did not realize it was like a fetish. I did not have any idea that there were people out there who liked watching videos of women sneezing aggressively. I had no idea still that this was a thing. I hadn't worked that out at this stage. And then I had Googled my name, and I think it was because I was trying to find, I can't remember what the reason I Googled it. I mean, as I said, I was still very, very small on YouTube. It wasn't like I was trying to, you know, see how famous I was. I had no one following me, basically. I was very small still. But I think I was trying to find a photo or something. And so I had Googled my name. And you know how if you Google something, like the top results of what follows the term that you've Googled comes up. So if you Google, you know, horse, it might come up horse jumping, horse show, horse sale. The like top Google searches related to that term will come up. So I had like typed my name into the Google search bar, Charlotte Holcroft, and the first result at the top of that search was sneezing. What? Why? Why was it sneezing? What was going on, I hear you say. So this led me down the rabbit hole, and this was when I found out that this was like a fetish, and these people were like posting my videos of like my sneezes. They were posting about my sneezes. There was whole forums about my sneezing. and where you could find a sneeze. Like they were linking to the videos with the timestamps. That's what the timestamping was about. It was so the people in this interesting little community could find the sneeze in the video. Obviously these were like men who, they weren't into makeup, they weren't wanting to watch like my whole foundation review, they just wanted to skip to the sneeze bit and watch me sneeze over and over again, apparently for entertainment purposes. So they were like in this forum telling people how amazing my sneezes were and what videos to watch and what time the sneeze happened. Let me tell you, I was pretty shook to my core. Shook to my very core. It felt really gross because obviously that wasn't my intention. I think if I had like been posting my sneezes for this type of like attention, then maybe I would have been okay with it. But the thing is, I was not okay with it. I had no idea that that was a thing or that men were going to watch my videos in that way. It just felt really gross. I felt really violated, really shocked. I had no idea this existed. I had no clue. It was really an awakening time. I spoke to a few of my friends about it and family members, and no one had ever heard of this. No one was aware of this. No one had any clue that this existed as a thing until now. I've really changed a lot of people's lives with this information, okay? And I'm probably going to assume that a lot of you probably had no idea until this video that this existed either. So I did not know what to do. I didn't really know where we went from here. Obviously, my first thing to do was that I was not going to be including sneezes in my videos ever again. I think I included one in a video recently and I muted it. So that explains that, if you thought that was odd. That is why I initially joked to my husband, maybe I should like start doing it on purpose. I'm going to get rich off sneezing. Maybe I should start like a Only Sneezes webpage. But no, that wasn't for me. That wasn't the route I wanted to go down. So I stopped sneezing in my videos. I don't think I deleted, did I? I might have deleted the videos that the sneezes were in. And I think I had to block the word sneeze. I wonder how many people have had to do that. I had to block the word sneeze from my comment section because I didn't want any more people arriving and, you know, just being really seedy and weird. I think once I realised what was going on and these people weren't just normal viewers who were just like thought my sneeze was funny and were commenting about that. These were like seedy people like watching my sneezing for like gross purposes. Once I realised that, I just really wanted to make it stop. Like I was not okay with it. It made me feel gross. It made me feel violated and weird and was just really not the type of attention I wanted to be getting on the internet or, you know, anywhere. Do another coat of this mascara. So yes, at this point I was now like aware of this fetish, of this being a thing that people like to watch and experience, and yeah, I decided I wanted to try and put a stop to it. I obviously was not going to sneeze on my channel anymore, but I think I removed the content, I blocked some words, and yes, I hope that it never happened again. I did get a few comments initially like asking, oh, when are you going to sneeze? Are you going to keep sneezing in your videos? I think obviously because they realised maybe that I wasn't doing it anymore and they were sad. They missed the sneezes. But once I realised that these people were gross, I didn't reply to them anymore and I blocked anyone who was commenting about sneezing. I'm getting so much mascara everywhere but my lashes because I'm trying to apply this on camera and it's just a messy time. But we will deal with that later. Never try to remove the mascara from your eyeshadow or your skin until it's dried. Like just let it hang out there for a while. Once it's dried, it'll be really easy to buff off either with a Q-tip or using a clean spoolie. It'll be really easy once it's dry, but do not do it while it's still wet or smear town is where you'll be. Okay, so I'm going to use one of the Pat McGrath bronzers now. This is Nude Honey. So yes, everything had kind of settled down with regards to the sneezing comments because I had got wise to it, I'd stopped doing it, and I had tried to sort of crack down on the comments until I was minding my own business one day on Facebook. Now, I used to have a Facebook page. I used to just sort of share my Instagram posts to Facebook. I don't anymore. There is still a page that's linked to my name because you have to have one if you want to be a business page on Instagram, but I don't use it. Nothing is on there. It's just a blank Facebook page. But this was my private Facebook. I don't share my Facebook. I don't you know, like give it out to people that I don't know or have it listed as part of my socials, you know, with regards to like my makeup channel. It's not linked here. It's just my private Facebook, and I keep my Facebook so small. Like I think it's under 200 people. I literally, if I don't see you regularly in person, like you're not on my Facebook. I have like a very small, very private Facebook, okay? It's just people I like, friends and family only. I don't have a new highlighter, so I'm just going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Gilded Glow. So yeah, I was just, you know, minding my own business. I logged onto my Facebook and was probably, you know, posting about my dog or something, when I get a message, you know, an instant message from someone that I'm not friends with. You know, you have to get a request to like message you on Facebook. It's a man. I don't remember his name. I mean, this was so long ago now. I wish I had like screenshotted this because I wouldn't mind like exposing this person. Well, I probably would. I probably wouldn't do that. But I wish I just had kept the message because it's so entertaining. Okay, so I'm going to use the two new Armani blushes that I picked up, shade 50 and shade 10. Shade 10 is a like slightly peachy neutral shade, very subtle on my skin tone, requires a fair amount of building up to show on me, and it has a pretty standard like matte finish. Shade 50 is a sort of corally pink shade, much better for my skin tone, like shows up much more easily, and it has that gorgeous like gold shimmer in there with the coral base. Very pretty, absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use both of these on different cheeks so you can see that both shades. Let's start off with shade 10. So yes, I received a private messenger Facebook message from this man, let's call him Tom. And the message said, "Hi Charlotte, my name is Tom and I work as a scientist at a university, and we are conducting a study on sneezing. And we would love to study your sneezes. I'm trying to gather as much material as possible on sneezes. And I know you have a YouTube channel, so I thought, you know, you're already set up to be able to video your sneezes and that you might want to be a part of this study that's definitely real. Would you be open to sending me some videos of you sneezing? I will be happy to pay." Yep, that happened. That really happened to me. This man really thought that that was a feasible little story. It was not. I was shook. This man was trying to make up this whole story about how he was doing a study of sneezing because he wanted to pay me to send him videos of me sneezing. You couldn't make this up, could you? Can you actually Adam and Eve it that this happened? You couldn't even make this up if you wanted to, could you? What planet are we living on right now? And to make matters worse, in my opinion at least, this man's like profile picture on his Facebook was a picture of him and his wife, his bride, on his wedding day. How normal. So, you know, that is the story of how I paid off my mortgage. Just kidding. Or am I? So I picked up two of the liquid lipsticks from Tom Ford. And again, these have been tried and tested by me over the last week or so. That is Lark, the nude shade. And then I picked up Smitten, which is a sort of more of a burnt reddish colour. Both beautiful shades. There we go. You guys know I'm not really much of a liquid lipstick fan. In fact, I'm not one at all. I'm not even a small fan of them. I usually hate them. I really like these. I think they might be my favourite ever, apart from the Chanel liquid lipstick. And really the Chanel isn't really a classic liquid lipstick because it's not matte. So I think as far as like a dry down matte liquid lipstick, these are my favourite formula ever. Okay, so that is Lark. Such a pretty shade. I love the other shade as well, Smitten. I think I posted a photo on my Instagram wearing this one if you want to see this on the lips as well. But dried down now we have Lark and Smitten. What I love about these is they stay like the slightest bit tacky. They don't dry down like fully to a complete bulletproof, zero transfer finish, which is a good thing for me. If that's what you're looking for, then you probably won't like these as much, because if you know, have a drink or you press your lips or you do a kiss test, you're probably going to get a slight bit of transfer because they feel just ever so slightly tacky still, which is what gives you the comfort. And I love that because I don't need it to like not transfer whatsoever ever. I'd much rather have that slight bit of give so that you don't get the really super drying, horrible flaking off lips that come for me with like every other liquid lipstick. They just stay the slightest bit of wiggle room so that they're not so drying. They just feel so lightweight, like they feel like nothing is on my lips right now, so light. They don't feel tight or uncomfortable. They are, if you're gonna wear this for like 8-hour day, they are gonna feel more drying than like a lip balm because, you know, it's a matte lipstick still, but it is the least drying of any liquid lipstick that I have tried, and they don't sort of shrivel my lips up, and it just feels so much more comfortable than like every other liquid lipstick I've ever tried. Okay, so this is the finished look. By the way, this is shade 50 of the Armani blush with, you know, much more glowy finish. And then this was shade 10. So let's go through these new products that I tried today. The bronzer from Pat McGrath, I picked up 3 shades. This is Nude Honey, which is the more neutral shade. It is quite light for me. You can see there, and it does look, you know, very light in the pan, but I wanted this shade because it is the only neutral shade in the collection. But I do have to build this up, and even building it up, it's still very natural and barely there on me. In the summer, in a few months time, I won't be able to use this one. The other 2 shades I got were Desert Glow, which is the glowy shade. That definitely is much warmer, and it also has like that sort of gold sheen, like shimmer running through it. I will try all of these over the next few days and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts. And then I have Bronze Nirvana, which is in the middle. Again, these 2 shades are much warmer. They are a bit richer, but you know, bronzer is supposed to be warm, but I do prefer a more neutral bronzer myself personally. But I think this one, this Desert Glow, is going to be my favorite because 1, it's got that glowy finish, which I love, and 2, it has that slightly more reddish leaning undertone to it. So yeah, so far so good. I will keep trying these other shades that I have, but it looks very smooth. It built and blended beautifully, and it's very, like I said, it's very natural on the skin. So far, I'm really liking that. I'm going to keep playing with it. This IT Cosmetics Nude Glow, I really like how it goes on. I think it's got a nice sort of slightly luminous finish. It's not crazy shiny. What I don't love about this, I think I talked about this in my March favorites, it doesn't wear well. I feel like it's almost gone off like my face within like 4 or 5 hours. It goes from my chin, it starts to get patchy and just break apart just quicker than I feel like it should, especially as with the SPF in here, it feels like it's going to be, you know, a summer foundation. It's something for summer to wear, you know, on warm days, and it's just going to melt straight off my face unless I set it, which is just not what I like to do in the summer. I like to be glowy and fresh and lightweight, and this just isn't going to wear well enough for me. And I don't think, you know, I think it looks nice. I think it's a good, decent finish, amount of coverage. It blends nicely, all of that, but I think the fact that it just doesn't wear that well kind of undoes all of the good stuff about it. Now this Tom Ford quad, so this is Hazy Sensuality. I think this is my favourite Tom Ford quad I've ever had. I can't think of one I like more than this. It's really pretty. Obviously I used it dry today. It is that wet dry formula, so you can use it wet if you want to amp up the like impact and have more shimmer. I think this is just really pretty. It's a bit more like cooler tone than their quads typically are. Everything is very warm and oranges and browns and bronzy shades. So I feel like this is slightly different. It's very pretty. It's very easy to work with. And I think all the shades are really pretty. Yes, it is, you know, it's not Pat McGrath, but we know that Tom Ford, that's not their vibe. You know, it is a bit softer, less impactful, but so pretty. I like the colours. I like that it's not super warm, and I really like it for like a sort of everyday, you know, lower key look. Now the Fenty mascara, as you can see, she is dramatic. She is dramatic. Bear in mind I have been using my lash serum. My lashes before mascara are really good. So I think this is a really dramatic mascara, but my lashes now are, you know, helping it out a lot. I've been using this for a good couple of weeks now, and it does not flake, it does not smudge. Nothing bad happens. It's not especially easy or particularly difficult to remove at the end of the day. I've been really liking it. I think it's really nice and big fat lashes, enough drama for me, that nice, really deep, rich black colour. What I will say is it doesn't give me a lot of lift, and I feel like it's trickier to use than some of my mascaras. So it just takes me a bit of work to, you know, get it even, to get rid of clumps, to get, you know, sometimes it really goes like a bit crazy and I have to spend some time sort of combing the product through. Maybe it's a slight issue with the brush, that it's not really combing the product through very easily. I feel like it takes me longer to get the effect that I want, and I'm kind of going back and forth fixing it. And the result is fantastic at the end, but I do find it a bit harder work than some of the other sort of dramatic mascaras that I love, like the Pat McGrath or the Bite Beauty mascara. I feel like I got the end result that this gives me, but much quicker and easier with that one. It is one of those full fat lashes, you know, similar to the MAC Stack, similar to the Pat McGrath Dark Star, similar to the Bite Beauty that has now gone forever. But I do find this one, it just requires a bit more work. It's the MAC Stack for me, it gazumps this one because the brush is just so much easier to work with and it is better on the lower lashes. I find this one, I didn't use it on my lower lash line today because it's kind of tricky to not go crazy down there. So yeah, I like it, but I don't think it's like a new favourite. I do love the packaging though. I'll say that. Next up, these new blushes from Armani. I prefer shade 50. I just think the sort of glowy finish is more like what I prefer. Shade 10 is very soft and subtle on me, on my skin tone, and I have to build it up quite a lot, which I don't love doing with blush because you could end up with quite a powdery looking cheek. I like these, I like the formula, but they aren't groundbreaking, I'll say that. A lot of people have commented saying, you know, they look very small, and they are. They are, I think, 3.6 grams of product. I think a more typical blush amount is like 6 and up. So that it is a really small amount of product in there for your money. And I think you can live without these. If you have a lot of blushes, I think they're nice blushes, but they are like pretty average as far as blushes. I don't think they're going to change your life. I don't think they're going to be like your new favorite ever blush. At least they're not for me in these shades that I have. And, you know, I think they're nice. They're pretty. I might use them a few times, but they're just not going to stand out in my collection. I think I like the packaging, but they aren't wowing me. They're not life-changing, groundbreaking, incredible standout formula for me. These Tom Ford liquid lipsticks, I've pretty much already given you my thoughts on these. Let's see if it has dried down. Yeah, so you can see there, I mean, it's not like a sort of more satin lipstick, but there's definitely some transfer there. I think they do dry down slightly more than it has done now, but you are going to get some transfer. So if you want absolutely none, I don't think this is going to give you none, zero, never. But now it's dried down, it feels like there's nothing on my lips. They're completely weightless, very, very lightweight, very comfortable. They don't feel tight and heavy. They don't feel like they're sucking the life out of my lips. Like I said, if you wear these for like a very long time, they are going to dry your lips out more than a lip balm, a tinted balm, a very balmy, you know, glossy type of lip product. But they are way less drying for me than any other liquid lipstick, that dry down matte liquid lipsticks have ever been. I really like them. They're long wearing enough. And I also find they wear off very evenly. Like if you go for like a 3-course meal with oily food, that's going to break down any lipstick really. But these, I find they don't go patchy, they just sort of fade slightly, and you don't end up with that sort of big bit missing from the center of your lips. It just kind of fades a little, and you can touch it up very easily as well. So yeah, I really like these. As far as liquid lipsticks go, the matte ones, these are, I think, the most I've ever liked one of those formulas. And so there you have it. That is everything I have to say about these new makeup products and this alarming set of events that I found myself experiencing during my first few years on YouTube. Please let me know if you've tried any of these new products, and please especially let me know if you've ever heard of this sneeze fascination, this sneezing fetish. Did you know this existed? Did you know this was a thing? Or was this a brand new school day for you, as it was for me once I learned about this? And I wish I could unlearn it, but I can't. It's in there now. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.